Decades ago, the world of martial arts was very different. To begin with, the world itself was very different, and not as small as these days. Internet and inexpensive global traveling did not exist yet, so if you wanted to learn martial arts, you usually had to travel far away, either to another country or even all across the world to find a martial arts teacher or school to learn from. Now, when someone is choosing a training place, most people choose a gym not based on how good it is, but on how close it is to their home. You can find a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Muay Thai, kickboxing, or an MMA gym in almost every city now. Nowadays, these schools are also growing in attendance with a rising popularity of mixed martial arts, while many traditional martial arts schools seemingly dwindle in numbers as more of them are being closed down entirely. This phenomena has happened not only due to how the world itself has changed and evolved in the past couple of decades. To a great degree, it is due to another phenomena known as the Ultimate Fighting Championship, or simply UFC. Yet did you ever consider in detail how the UFC has affected the world of traditional martial arts? Hi, my name is Rokas, and in this martial arts journey video, we will take a look at how the UFC exposed traditional martial arts. As mentioned in the introduction, the world was quite different just a few decades ago. Yet the fact that martial arts schools were far and in between, that was not the only difference compared to today. One of the differences in the past was also that people were much less exposed to various martial arts than they are today. As a result, many of them were much more mystified. Not to say that mystification of certain practices does not occur today either, yet in the past it was much more common and stronger for the following reasons. While the internet did not yet exist, most people knew of martial arts through movies, which portrayed them in hyperbolaized ways. Even if someone was training martial arts, there were a few ways to check the various stories and legends told around the training place. It was much easier to claim that a certain martial arts master was invincible, or some master high in the mountains or deep in the forest was capable of harnessing his key chi powers, being able to perform miraculous feats. Martial arts schools being much more rare to find made it more difficult to test your martial arts against another practice too. Or even if that has been done, there were no means to record it and spread the results in such convenient ways as today we have YouTube that we all have access to. Yet that all changed with the birth of the UFC. Now, to be correct, the first UFC was not entirely a new invention. The Gracie family has already been challenging various martial arts schools, and prior to that, no-holds-barred events known as Vale Tudo, or a Japanese version of fighting without rules, existed. Yet it never was exposed on the same level of global media as the UFC aimed to do. When it was first announced that the representatives of different martial arts styles will actually fight against each other to see who's the toughest, many could not believe that it was actually real. It took a few UFC events to actually start receiving more attention, yet as it did, more and more martial artists, schools, and styles started getting involved. While the event itself evolved from quote-unquote no rules and no weight classes to a more safe and wiser pairing of opponents, the UFC events give a widely exposed and promoted opportunity for different styles of martial arts to match against each other, as a result, seeing which martial art performed better. And the results became evident very quickly. The first UFC has been won by a representative of the previously mentioned Gracie family member named Royce Gracie, who submitted opponents of various sizes, styles, and experiences. To many, it was a shock, since Royce was not the biggest or meanest person in the group. Yet the mastered style of Royce, known as Gracie Jiu-Jitsu, was clearly superior in these specific conditions compared to other martial arts. Now, not to say that Gracie Jiu-Jitsu has been definitively better than other styles in all degrees. It was clearly a very powerful and effective martial art, but it also used a great advantage which was had over the other martial artists, and that was of them having a lack of knowledge or experience on how to fight when being taken to the ground. Nonetheless, what was effective and what was not effective while different styles fought each other became quickly apparent when considering all the bouts. Being so exposed and widely observed, involving various styles of fighting, the UFC has given a chance for various martial arts schools and martial artists to observe what works better and what doesn't work at all. Some styles of fighting and techniques were clearly superior in the fighting realm, and the martial artists who wanted to do well started observing them and taking notes, absorbing and mixing the most effective methods, which gave birth to what we now call mixed martial arts, or MMA. Through this process, it also became clear that while some martial arts had lots of techniques to offer to the table of effectiveness, other martial arts had very little to offer of what was useful in a more realistic and non-cooperative fighting. While many martial arts before the UFC believed that they were invincible, only training with their own members of the same organization, having their students cooperate as they demonstrated their techniques, it was easy to convince others and even themselves of their effectiveness. Yet with how big the UFC grew, the knowledge of what works and what doesn't became more and more widespread. Some martial arts and practitioners were eager to test their skills and learn accordingly, while other schools and styles shrank down or withdrew to further live in their fantasy. Oftentimes, this withdrawal was based on various stories, such as, our martial art is too deadly for MMA, or our martial art works only in the streets. Yet it became harder and harder to convince intelligent people that what doesn't work in a sanctioned fight between two fighters would somehow work in the streets. Not to say that there are no methods of self-defense which would be useful in an actual attack that are not allowed in the octagon, such as a preemptive attack or the use of an improvised weapon. But most martial arts do not teach these approaches, relying only on techniques which are designed to fight in a one-on-one duel, yet taught to be done in actually ineffective ways. Also, with the internet accessible to almost everyone, we see more and more recorded cases where a certain martial art or fighting practice, such as Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu or boxing, is used effectively numerous times in self-defense situations, further proving its efficiency in various circumstances beyond just the octagon. While at the same time, suspiciously, most of the martial arts that claim to be too deadly for MMA have very little, if none at all, recorded footage of it being used in the so-called street scenario. There are also various recorded cases of an MMA fighter sparring a traditional martial artist whose martial art is oftentimes based on a fantasy, showing that against actual fighting pressure or an attempt to actually hurt or injure the practitioner, the fantasy-based martial artist completely loses his composure and is unable to respond effectively at all, making people question, if their martial art looks completely harmless against an MMA fighter, can there really be such a dramatic difference when they will be attacked by someone in a daily situation? These days, the formula of what is effective is quite widely known. Most likely, there is no one single style which could beat all other effective styles, especially if they are combined. Yet if UFC would not have happened, it is a big question whether today we would know which martial art methods and techniques are superior and which martial arts are based on an unrealistic fantasy. Today, if a martial artist claims that he can harness deadly chi and kill someone with a single strike, there are plenty of MMA schools around which will be happy to test the skills of this quote-unquote deadly master. Yet again, we have to be grateful to UFC for helping mixed martial arts become so popular and widely spread to oppose those who claim their effectiveness based solely on beliefs and stories rather than actual testing. Those martial arts and martial artists who were courageous enough to jump into the octagon to test themselves and adapt from their lessons have developed into a superior form of martial arts, which can hardly be opposed by any single style. Yet those martial artists and schools who withdrew and secluded themselves, avoiding an actual test or challenge, not only lost an opportunity to grow, yet also dove even deeper into an unhealthy fantasy, which is becoming more and more difficult to facilitate. Most unfortunately, this fantasy may even cost someone their life, or at the least, their dignity, when one day they will eventually have to face the truth of being exposed to an experienced actual fighter. As always, my main message is that if you are a martial artist and you believe that your style is effective without proof, question and test yourself. How do you really know it works? What is the source of your knowledge? Do you actually have tangible proof, or do you live in a fantasy based on stories? Testing yourself is not as difficult as it seems. These days, you can easily find an amateur boxer, a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu player, or even a wrestler to see if you can at least defend against them. Or if your martial art is too dangerous, then ask a friend to put on a full contact armor and see if you can apply your martial art against real 100% pressure. And if you are not up for that challenge or you have an excuse for it, I encourage you to question yourself even more. Thanks for watching this video. I hope this summary and analysis of how UFC exposed traditional martial arts was interesting and valuable to listen to. Thank you to Marius Tubis for inspiring this video. If you want to see the original conversation with him, which inspired the video, check it out by clicking in the image in the corner. Also, subscribe to the Martial Arts Journey YouTube channel for more videos like this one. This was Rokas, and I wish you to own your journey.